the role of the guerrillas. This is now included in the new curriculum framework. Up to now, the seminal role of the guerrillas has not been included in U.S. history. And even in the books, it is not discussed how they sacrificed, the lengths they went through to gather reconnaissance, to sabotage Japanese installations. As early as the end of 1942, guerrilla groups were being formed, and one of the most effective guerrillas was the Hunters ROTC guerrillas. We will be privileged today to hear one of the sons of the founders of one of the key members of the Hunters ROTC guerrillas, Mr. Emmanuel de Ocampo. So we will hear later this afternoon about how the guerrillas played a very seminal role during the liberation. I don't think there would have been a liberation without the amount of work that the guerrillas did before the liberation. The U.S. prisoners of war in hell ships. This has not been taught in U.S. high schools. After the conditional release of the Filipino prisoners from Camp O'Donnell, and I said conditional because not everybody was released. An example here is Mr. Preculo Bualat of the 92nd Coast Artillery. We will honor him today. He is 99 years old. Because there was nobody to vouch for him, he was forced to work in a manganese mine. And so the American soldiers, starting in June, were moved to other prison camps, Cabanatuan, Palawan, and eventually they were used as slave laborers in labor camps in Asia, Japan, China, Korea, and Formosa. So about 4,000, over 4,000 of them died by friendly fire because the ships they were in, they were called hell ships, as you can imagine the deplorable conditions they were in. They were unmarked merchant ships, and they were put in the holds of the ships. So over 4,000 of them died by friendly fire. Now this will now be learned by high school students in California. The battles of Leyte Gulf. We have somebody here, Mickey Ganich with the USS Pennsylvania, who took part in the battles of Leyte Gulf. Not too many people know that this is the largest naval battle in U.S. history, and yet it is not taught in high schools. Now it will become part of the grade 11 U.S. history curriculum framework. It destroyed the Imperial Japanese Navy, and that is the significance of the battles of Leyte Gulf. The Battle of Manila and the destruction of Manila, which took place between February and March 1945. Manila, before the war, was considered the Pearl of the Orient. After the Battle of Manila, approximately 100,000 civilians died, and it became the second most devastated city in the world after Warsaw, Poland. So these are the things that are included now in the history curriculum framework. However, this is just the first step. There are 77 high school districts in California consisting of approximately over 1,300 high schools. It is ultimately up to each school district to implement this. So we are asking for your help to ask your superintendents. If you have children or grandchildren in high school, ask their teachers, will this be taught Now this is part of U.S. history. We need the community to rally together so that this can be taught. Also, in anticipation, we are creating a sample curriculum to ensure that this seminal point of World War II history will be taught in accordance with our recommendations. Now I am asking you, please go to your superintendents. Please let them know that this has been approved, because this will not move without your support. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, because California is one of the two largest textbook consumers in the United States, the other one being Texas. And because they are one of the largest consumers, the textbook publishers are mandated to change their textbooks in accordance with the new curriculum framework. So the ramification of this is nationwide, because these books will be distributed nationally. So this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, but we need your help. We need to work on this so that the legacy of those who made so much sacrifice during World War II in the Philippines will be learned, not just in the United States, but in the Philippines and hopefully Japan. So I want to thank all of you again for being here. We have a full program today. I'm asking you to stay around for the program for the entire day, because we have so much to learn. I have so much to learn. I'm only beginning to learn, actually. But thank you so very much. Thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to all of our esteemed guests who came here today. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay!